Well, take a breath. Take a breath and relax. Kind of shake off what the world is rumbling about. And boy, the world is really rumbling all around us, huh? Before we get into the reading and the haiku, I wanted to read you a little bit of the introduction that I wrote to the book, The New Earth I Ching. That is coming out March, probably mid-March. Just to help us kind of understand a little bit more about what the I Ching plays in our lives, what that information's about, where does it come from. Always good questions even to ask ourselves, where do we come from? Consider that we are all part of the universe, and there is universal energy abounding constantly in our lives. In Chinese medicine, it's known as qi or qi. The I Ching is a living oracle that gives voice to this energy. There truly is a consciousness to the universe, the esoteric principle, as above, so below. It says that we contain the universe and all its possibilities in ourselves, in our individual selves. And just as the universe wants us to continue in the best and most whole way possible, the I Ching tells us that all is perfect. Our path is perfect as well. Yes, there's some obstacles and dangers, but with the proper use of the oracle's wisdom, these oracles become opportunities for lessons learned. We learn that by joining with the universal archetypical patterns as recorded in the Book of Changes, that's where we get our benefit. We discover that we live in an endless now, and our progress, our healing, our enlightenment depends on living fully in the now, as there is no past and no future, as quantum physics shows us. There's only the wholeness of a beautiful now. If we accept that all of our creations and ideas have been channeled from the universe, we have a better understanding of this book. The key, or access, is not outside of us. It exists within us as a language of the soul, the guiding force to which human incarnation is only one aspect. The space of the soul is where we enter into the kind of archaeological dig to uncover what we've hidden from ourselves. That keeps us from experiencing oneness with all, a state of bliss. It is a place of profound peace of mind, profound trust, and once entered, it is a sacred place where nothing and everything is possible. In stillness, through prayer and meditation, we can hear this voice of wisdom. With the oracle, we're reassured that the voice is meant for each of us and always aims for the greater good. There are many ways to access the river of universal knowledge. There's the tarot, astrology, yarosticks, shells, all of which can lead us to interpreting the timing of our lives and receive the information necessary to continue in the most graceful, in the most loving way possible. We all have questions that can be answered as to whether to act, to retreat, or to delay. This is the essence of the strategy of moving toward a life harmony, a life of harmony, abundance, and love. Knowing this, we can gain the confidence to ask the right questions of the I Ching and receive its coded message. Now, the message will be heard differently by each querent of the oracle. The magic that we hear, the magic that we read, in its way tells us how, when, and why we're to act or we're not to act on the situation before us. parts of that introduction really tell us what I say about the I Ching. I Ching means the book of changes. I see it as the book of answers. Really to answer our questions about which way do we go, how do we do it, and give us some sage advice. And each reading gives the advice in a way that triggers our own inner voice of wisdom. And that's what a true bit of sortilege is about, where we can delve into the essence of who it is we are. Well, I cast the coins this morning, and I've come up with an important section for us, especially at this time. It's number 41, Diminishing and Offering. It's called Sun in Chinese. Each hexagram is made of 6 lines, 2 trigrams. The one above says there's a limit, there's a quietness, there's the mountain. The one below says it's easy, it's open, and it's responsive. The wisdom that we take from the I Ching this week is the wisdom of our own knowing. It says, make an offering at the altar of all you hold dear. Your offering is being fully present. Feel it? It is about being present. That's what we can bring to the altar, material things, but we also bring to the altar that sacred place, that place of healing, is where we bring our offerings. What are we going to improve? What are we going to work on this for the greater good? What are we going to let go of, right? The offering this time is only to be present, not as easy as you think. Taking away everything that's ever gotten in the way of you making your progress, of you coming to the knowing of who it is you are and why we're here, and that certainly is the big question. There's an opportunity rising, the opportunity of receiving a beautiful aspect of self that has been left in the shadows, hidden from view as you strove ahead in abundance and advancement. You've been in the action and attitude of giving love, advice to benefit your family, your tribe, and your relationships. Now the benefit is to prepare yourself to receive, to clear the way that has gotten musty and cluttered with ego. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do actions out of ego and they seem to work on the minute, but then they kind of get musty. We got to move on. We got to get rid of that stuff stuck in our personality, stuck in greed for more of whatever it is, more stuff, more money, more power. You've not been wrong in these human situations, but now the great cleanse is called for. We have the opportunity to clear the way so you can proceed on the road before you, the road to commence on your journey to the road less traveled. It is on that road where the removing of old ways and of no longer useful patterns that have held you in the prison of shame, the prison of doubt, the prison of fear. This clearing or this cleansing is to leave room for the returning and for the refreshment of all that is good in this coming cycle of retrieval and creation. The benefit now is to have a plan spelling out what is needed to be shifted, what is needed to be retrieved, and what you must let go of. You might have to let go of a person, a relationship, an attachment to self-importance, or your illusion of being in control. Boy, don't get stuck there. If we think we can control a situation, that's when it's just going to slap us upside the head really fast. Because you can't understand what's going on if you think you're in control. in letting go of what no longer serves you, this is a way you leave room for creation, for the ideas of other souls to accompany you as you open yourself to be found, to create, and to be loved for who you are, without the artifice of pose, control, or various aspects of riches. We'll be doing a couples afternoon workshop. And that's a place we have to let go of control. If we think we're in control in a relationship, or if you think you're being controlled in a relationship, that's when you have to make your move. You got to speak up. You got to bring things to equanimity, to balance. In preparation for these knowings, for this knowledge, the elders show us and demonstrate how to receive in humility with grace and dignity. I just did a beautiful meditation on the beach here in Tulum at a call. And I asked the group, about 60 souls, who here knows how to love? And most people raised their hands. And when I said, who here knows how to receive love? Not so many, just a few. You see, we have to learn to receive. And once we do, we are filled, and ego just goes out the window, right? And we're not in control of that coyote rapping in our ear telling us we're not good enough, we got to do more, we got to stand up to be seen above the crowd. It's not how it works. You see, there's great benefits ahead for you. You know, we talk about going to the altar of change, and there is a great benefit in creating an altar, a place to go, where either in metaphor or an actual movement, go to greet and embody universal energy that is there to be found in your stillness. In our stillness, we go to the altar, right? And look, it might be you're in the forest and put a few rocks on a tree stump and that's your altar, or it might be the top of a mountain you see in the distance. It could be in your backyard. It could be just on the windowsill. Wherever your altar is, it's a place to go. It's a place to allow yourself to listen. And that's the big deal, to listen. You know, if I refer to my couples group, it is going to be about listening, learning to listen. And that is something that we don't get trained in. We don't get trained to listen. We're on a psychedelic journey, calling on the magical hormones of our body to open doors that have been forever closed. It is in this space where you will know you are awake and in the work of being on the road less traveled. The medicine path is where we walk, and it's not about external medicine, it's about the medicine within us. It's about our own production. You see, it's at the altar of grace, consciousness, with no ego, calling the shots, where we have firm personal boundaries that we set in place. And you can do that at the altar, bring you to the realization of the oneness of the universe as you are enhanced and you redirect the deeply held resources of energy and of power. The fuel for transformational change is right here and right now. That's what this reading is about, knowing that you can change, and this is the time. This is the time. Is it reaching out and gaining something? Is it opening your hands and letting go? Or is it just standing in the wind like the stalk of wheat and allow yourself to bend and not be so firm? To receive the abundance, love, peace of mind that is destined for you at this moment in time is benefit not only brings clear and clean information to the vessel, but also with scrutiny discover and seal even the tiniest fractures in your way of thinking. We talk about correct thinking. Have caution that you do not become blinded by the successes you have manifested. You will, in reflection, see that in many ways you've done really well, and that's not in question. To receive in fullness of spirit Spirit asks us that you recognize and move beyond the voice of the ego that's constantly on a search for a way to ever, very subtly, move you off track. Ego wants to move you away from contacting the divine. As you've been moving toward your goals, you've been moving in a multiplicity of directions to achieve what you have desired. Along with doing this, you're keeping steady on your necessary daily tasks, the task of caring for yourself and those immediately around you. Despite all this activity, you've been feeling a lack of satisfaction. That's normal. Even though you've achieved some of the goals so brilliantly, don't beat yourself up. Rising from deep within, this gnawing desire to reach for something new, something grand, it's okay, but you got to deal with it. In many ways, it seems like this time of angst and convoluted ideas swirling around you must be the worst time of all for a journey such as this, where you're going to go so deep into yourself. You see, as you've been expending so much of your vital force to get where you are and to maintain equilibrium, while doing so, it is here that Sun, this hexagram, is giving the advice for you to take a clear look at the situation. And then you negotiate your position, paying attention to your limitations as you proceed, with authenticity and integrity as your guiding light. Authenticity, that's remembering who you are, you see, and while you're there, make sure you stay within the borders, in the boundaries of your energetic, of your spiritual, your emotional, and your physical reservoir. Do not cross your boundaries, because you've got enough. You don't have to reach so far outside. You've got enough. And don't let the ego take you beyond that place. Now we're talking about the important benefits that take us beyond that place where we can get stuck in the ego. It's the place that we know we might be exhausted. You might feel on the conscious path that you become vulnerable to the inner voice of doubt and shame. Now you're on the road. Approach these situations, the ones before you, in their most basic form. This is a time for simple plans. Complexity would rob you of the resources that you have held back, the ones that you have left, and it would leave you paralyzed on the path. That's why we do not cross our boundaries. You see, if this were to happen, you'd find yourself vulnerable to all the old tapes that are running, all the old forms, all the old patterns that you've been wanting to shift. And right now, your path to success and enlightenment must be free, and it must be open, unhindered by negative thoughts. See, that's correct thinking. And getting beyond where your old systems of belief, the old patterns that get stale after a while, like a loaf of bread left too long on the shelf. Change any words of negativity about yourself that you are thinking to loving, positive, and progressive words. Words of love and encouragement. The words you think are much more powerful than the words you say. See, this is what some call fate. A time in your life where the inner voice of wisdom expresses itself in a celebratory and joyous form that the ego wants to set aside. But you got to let go. Here's where you let go of your fears and your doubts to follow spirit. Your guides, your angels, or whatever term you want to identify that voice of higher wisdom, the one that nurtures you, the angels, the advisors of the inner voice, tells you that this is a time of decrease. Don't get worried. but things are changing. And it's from here that you can be free. It's here that good, solid boundaries must be created. There are limitations that are going to help you regulate your self-expression. The self-expression will become increasingly prescient because most of the negative voices within, they're really exhausted. Exhausted by the chatter, they'll be forced to move into silence. And once you get there, we call that relief. Relief. So, in this time, as your personal power is lessening, look to your virtue and act and think as simply as possible. Work only at the basic elements of your tasks. Eat, drink, and think simply. Make an offering of your ego to the ones on high. The ego sacrifice may be in the form of material objects or a false attitude of confidence that was just about to get you in a world of trouble. Yeah. As your energetic sun is setting, let go. Allow it to follow its way around the great orb of your existence. Just let go, knowing that at nighttime you'll be richly renewed and prepared for the eventual rising of your strength, which is coming. As your energy increases and your wholesomeness is abounding with light and with love. This will empower you to bring loving kindness and compassion to your present relationships, your tribe, your family, your associates, your friends, allowing you to easily accomplish more than you had planned. You see, that's the good news. Making and respecting firm outer limitations, it is a time of limitation that allows you to cultivate and nurture what is most essential for your progress, your movement towards abundance and acceptance of who it is that you truly are. In this diminishing energetic cycle, you're going to be able to access what lies ahead. And by honoring limitations, we're there again, you see, by honoring limitations, you can cultivate the resolve that's needed to patiently see this cycle to completion. Making way for a new cycle to begin. That's it, you know. When one cycle ends, all it's telling you is that it's a time that one is ending and a new one is coming, and that is joy. You know, some natural cycles can be hard to accept. So when you find yourself in limitation, don't worry. Don't get stressed, but know that this cycle is only temporary, and it's part of the natural order of things. That's yin and yang that travels around the circle of light. And decrease, don't get worried. It gives you an opportunity to clearly look at your life. I mean, listen to that again. Decrease gives you the opportunity to clearly look at your life path so that you may address and correct negative thoughts and old, worn-out, destructive patterns of behavior. These things, it's rather than being something to get through, the current cycle should be considered a time of revelation and revolution that will lead you to a personal renewal, leaving you clear and leaving you strong, and taking you to the place where you can work for your and for the greater good. I talk about the greater good a lot. We talk about that. You know, if it's good for you, make sure it's good for all. And in that way, you are in balance. Having this particular teaching coming at this time in your life, know this, be assured that this is the onset of a full cycle of beneficial and good fortune. This arriving fruitful harvest is deserved and is being realized because of your hard work, because of what you've done, because of what you've been doing daily. And don't let the voice beat you up and say, hey, don't listen to that, man. You haven't been good enough. You have been good enough, right? You're coming to recognizing, to accepting, and to release the suffering that has resulted from the events and benefits and beliefs of the past. Look to these wisdom teachings as preparation to receive. Make your directions firm and know where you are headed. This knowing is the roadmap on the journey. You can follow your knowing to the place that you deserve and want to be. The events to come will be rich with meaning. Know that. Again, look at the name of this hexagram. It's about decrease, right? Things are getting less, but it's also less noise to get in your way, right? The doors are opening now through this new cycle, these doors to abundance and to love, where old wounds can be healed and the cords of bondage to the past can be dissolved. And don't fear to see the pain. Don't fear to see the angst that's been flowing through you for these many years, these many lifetimes. Honor the experience as you process it, let go. If there's been a terrible thing that happened, a terrible loss or a terrible event, well, don't avoid it, but just let it flow through and know that it's the past. And what's happening is that pain and suffering is allowing you to move into this new beneficial cycle. In between cycles is the window of opportunity, and that's where we are right now on our planet. There's been much pain and suffering here, so trust as a people that we're coming to the best of times, a recreation of a new earth tribe, where our beliefs and vision for Gaia in balance with all nations and all peoples is coming. Believe that, because it is happening. We are coming into a new earth, and it's up to us to vision and keep the balance before us in the way that we operate in the belief of that. And it's not a blind belief, because if you look at where things are at, we know that we've been scraping the bottom, but that's once you do that, you're ready to fill the pot again and to grow. Thus, the great benefits are going to be delivered as we set and act in harmony with the rhythm of the earth. As we protect the waters, we protect the air, we protect the land by trusting the process laid out for us by the teachings that we embody on the path. Our teachers, they may still be in the body, or they may have moved on. Look to the teachings in your tribe. Look to the elders. Look to the elements of nature and earth. See how the plant grows. Imitate it. See how the wind bends the wheat. Imitate it. It's within the magnificence of Gaia that the greatest teachings are the help in waiting for us in stillness. Listen to the indigenous elders and listen to the artists and listen to the poets. Listen to the musicians. Listen to the speakers. Listen to your lover. Listen to the children. You're going to hear the words that you need to hear. The needed support will be in the birdsong, the wind in the trees, the rumbling of the earth, and the rolling of the sea. You see, these are our teachers. So you're told, you're asked, you're begged to stop and listen. So there we are in the light of a new dawn. Where we said it in the 60s, everything's going to be all right, and that's true. I love it when that happens. So we are going there. We are coming to that place where there's a new place and a new place to live and to be excited and to be happy. You deserve to be happy. Say with me, I deserve love. I deserve love. Say with me, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. And I want you to believe this one. Say with me, I am love. I am love. I dedicate this week to my daughter, Justine. birthday's on the 11th. She left the planet 30 years ago, but she's still in my heart, so I can dedicate it to her memory of that wild gypsy. She was outrageous, and I just want to encourage to all of you, I want to say to all of you, look, it is the time to work and to be outrageous in your life. Open doorways that have been forever closed. Follow your bliss. Be the love that you desire. I meet my brothers on the path and I say, Namaste, my brothers. And I meet my sisters on the path and I say, Namaste, sisters. And here in the Yucatan, we say, in La Kesha La Kin, I am the other you. And I like it that way. Yes, I do. The music this week, Leonardo Prakash. It's on Spotify. Listen to it, dig it, dance to it, meditate to it. And y'all be the love that you desire. And I must say it again. In La Kesha La Kin, I am the other you. Talked a lot this week, Robbie K. You got that stuff stirring inside you. Well, I hope that the passion that I'm feeling for you and for the work comes across. Be passionate in everything you do. Walk passionately, love passionately, sing passionately. Open your heart and love the one you're with. Namaste, y'all. Namaste.